All right, let's get this video to connecting on YouTube. The YouTube, maybe I shouldn't say Tubi. I know that's associated with the little cheap films, the ones y'all be done did on your iPhone. But I'm just saying YouTube. Okay, let's grab this link and put it in the community so that everybody can join us. And then we're getting started. Oh, y'all know what? I just realized I didn't make a graphic for today. So that means get the regular graphic. We're just gonna throw that one up and we'll replace it later. All right, y'all. Let's get started. Welcome to Unlock Your First Six Figures morning show. I am your host, Shay Cannon. However, let me tell you what we're talking about this week. Top 4 ways for a small business to be findable. Okay. It all starts with the blog. This week's blog is at shaycannon.com/find. That's FIND. So go there and you can check out all that we've talked about this week and all that we're going to talk about today. So let's get into it. You've heard of the like, know, and trust factor that potential clients need to place before they buy from you, right? They need like, know, and trust to buy from you. But did you realize that those potential clients need to find you, to know you, to like you, and to trust you, right? So if you don't know who I am, I'm Shay Cannon. I'm an award-winning fractional chief operating officer with an exclusive clientele of 6- and 7-figure CEOs. However, I have a mission, and that mission includes you, entrepreneurs and small business owners who are spinning their wheels and struggling to get to their first 6 figures in business. I want to show you how to make the money and create time freedom. My freedom looks like living and working my business from anywhere in the world. I'm currently in Mexico. Okay, so let's get to it. 4 ways to be more findable as a small business. Number 1, you need to start with some clarity, because before other people can find you, you need to find you. You need to be clear on who you are, who you serve, what you help them with. Okay, and then you need to craft that messaging around that clarity and put it on your website. Okay, so that's the first thing that you need to do. The second thing that you need to do is SEO, that's search engine optimization. We talked about that. So this is what I want you to do. If you want to know more about the clarity and you want to know more about the SEO, catch that part 1 and part 2. It's all together from Tuesday. All right. So on yesterday, we talked about the 3rd way to be more findable as a small business, and that is going for one-to-many traffic, okay? You as one person talking to many people at a time rather than you as one person talking to one other person, okay? So we talked about that. Good stuff. Heather came in and we talked about press releases. She damn near did a master class on press releases. So guess what? Catch that replay. It's from yesterday. And today we're going to round it out with our 4th way you can be more findable as a small business. Now, what that is, go local, okay? Go local. Even if your business is online, right? Even if it's online, you have a home base, right? You have places where your fanatical fans are grouped up. So think about going local in those places, okay? So this is what you can do. Even if your business address is a website, you can still make your presence known in physical locales, okay, or locations. Think about local campaigns for your hometown, where you live currently. If it's not your hometown, the areas most of your current and past clients are from, areas you're trying to break into, right? Areas that you may have a concentration of your ideal potential clients, and areas that include strategic partners, all right? Areas having events that attract your ideal potential clients, and so on, okay? You got to get creative so that you can get local, all right? I want to give y'all some more things. So y'all heard that, right? Be thinking about which of those you know you need to do, but I want to add some more for you, okay? And so that is local SEO. Y'all, I didn't even think about local SEO. What do you mean, right? So, and that is when you're doing your SEO that we talked about earlier in the week, you need to add specific keywords that are local, okay? So this includes incorporating location-based keywords into your content, into your meta tags, like your pictures. Hey, add some pictures that got a local flair to it and go ahead and put in the metadata of those pictures, like what is that local location, right? Give clarity that describes your local services, because sometimes we don't offer the same thing to every location, right? So what are the specific things you offer to specific locations? So that's one way to do local SEO. That was awesome. Localized content creation, right? I'm from Alabama, Roll Tide. And so obviously I can talk about the University of Alabama versus the University of Auburn or Eagle. Anyway, you know, when you're from places, you know things that have a local ring to it, right? You know about topics and locations and things and culture that is local that you need to be including in your content and creating content around, okay? There are different things that happen in my hometown that I know that I can create content around, okay? Especially events that my ideal clients will be at. Come on, nobody knows your hometown like you. You should be creating specific information that is about that kind of stuff, okay? Landmarks, that kind of things. Big press that's going, y'all know Heather love to tell us to newsjack, right? So what kind of news is going on and how can you finagle that into a content about what you offer, all right? Newsjacking, localized content creation. Partnerships with local businesses. You may not have a brick and mortar, but there are some local businesses that have a brick and mortar who have clients coming in and out that are your people. So how can you partner with a local business that is a brick and mortar to talk to your people when they come in there, right? So start thinking like that. You can sponsor local events and charities, okay? I sponsor every year one of the, it's a networking group in Birmingham, Alabama. I think it's just, I can't even remember the name of it, y'all, so I don't even want to mess it up. But shout out to Laquita who heads that up. And so I have started sponsoring the event she has every year. So my logo is on the step and repeat that everybody takes pictures in front of. I'm in the program, things like that, okay? So how can you sponsor local events and charities? Don't miss out on opportunities, because let me tell y'all, there are going to be events that have your people in it that maybe you can't get to. The best way to get to them anyway is to sponsor the event in some way. That lets you be there even though your body is not there, okay? Engage with local media. Heather talked about that yesterday. If you missed it, catch the replay. Participate in local markets and fairs. This is especially for people with products, right? But it's not just for people with products. You can go to a fair or a marketplace with a service as long as you have a table, right? You can set up a table. You can have your QR codes, all kind of things going on, okay? So you don't just have to have products to go to markets and fairs. Don't forget that, especially if you have a book, because some of us experts, we have a book. If you don't, again, see Heather. But if you do have a book, then you need to be at some of these book fairs and book clubs and book related events, expos and all of that, all right? Use local directories and local forums to list your business, all right? Local specific Facebook groups, get in them things, okay? Let's talk to our people that's in our hometowns, okay? Customer testimonials and local influencer partnerships, all right? I love a good affiliate program, but also who are the local stars? Okay, let's see if we can't get a partnership with them. We kind of talked about influencer marketing on yesterday, but we didn't talk about it in a local way. Who do you know in your hometown that you know is an influencer? And I don't necessarily mean they get a lot of media or whatever. Let me give you an example. Back when I used to sell jewelry, my little sister was an influencer. That girl don't do nothing but get on social media and talk about her clothes. She talk about her makeup. She talk about her skincare products, all of those things. People listen to her. Every time she says she found a new product, people are asking her where can they go get it? She talk about candles and how they smell, all kind of stuff, okay? So guess what? When I started selling jewelry, I had her to start talking about it. And guess what? Her influence got me sales. Okay. So who is a local star, even in your family, in your network that you know has influence locally? All right. Localized advertising campaigns, right? Localized advertising campaigns. If I were to run a campaign during the Alabama-Auburn game on Facebook, on Instagram, right? That had kind of that football flair to it, but then I get them into talking about business growth. Come on, you can run some localized campaigns. Keith told you yesterday about that direct mail. He's like, don't forget about direct mail, y'all. He even gave us the link. So, or the name of it, right? So don't forget about localized advertising. Also, don't forget you can get those digital billboards, okay? You don't have to get the most high traffic place where it costs the most money. You can get a low traffic place, and guess what you can do? You can go and either you can go or you can send a task rabbit to take pictures and video and then use it as content. Okay, I will be doing that again soon. Billboards, they are easy to get into, okay? Especially when you're not, I mean, if you're not trying to get in Times Square, you should be all right? So you can find some cheaper ones, and then again, get pictures and video and use it as content. All right, offer localized deals and promotions, okay? You can even use a coupon code or discount code that's like a local word, right? Like mine would probably say Roll Tide, y'all already know. But anyway, I'm just saying. So just start thinking local. Start thinking local. So what I would love to know from you ladies is, what are you going to start to implement to go local and be more findable in a local way? So you can pick from my list and you can pick from the ChatGPT list. So I'm going to start with Shawana Kennedy. What is something you're going to be implementing for your findability locally?
Hello, teacher. Hello.
Hello.
Well, that's a really great question. One of the things that I was listening at you just say, and I know being in Georgia, I honestly didn't think about what I could put behind some of the pictures and stuff that I put out, that it can be even because I know sometimes with static posts, there are certain things that don't show up. But one of the things, and here's a tip for some people if you're not already doing it, and I'll go back to doing that, is when you're doing your creation of graphic design, is potentially making whatever that phrase, those words are, making them transparent on that particular post. So because of what you just said, I'm going to be mindful to do some of that may be appealing for SEO for local market. That was one of the first things that rose to mind, because I was doing it, but I got away from it. So with my static stuff, as well as, any type of animated things, I'm definitely going to go back to that. Because, I'm not a get on the hit the pavement and knock on doors type of girl. So I'm going to be interested to hear what everybody else has to say. But those are my immediate thoughts. Thank you.
That was good. And don't forget to check your inbox, Shawana, because there's some local stuff in there for you in your inbox. So check that out. So Dr. Tachi, what is something you're going to do to get a more local flair going for your findability?
Good morning.
Good morning.
I am very interested in the local events thing. And you've made me, I always know that local and hyper local can be a very good thing because people have kind of access to you. However, I'm not, how the hell ever, something about these people here, and I think you've heard me talk about this before, this whole Miami, Fort Lauderdale area. The people here are very interesting. There's some great people and there's some people. So because of that, I've tended to like kind of be incognito with these folks. But sponsoring something sounds like a way that I can kind of ease in without being involved in the local rubbish, if that makes sense.
It does make sense. Yeah, picking the events carefully, right? But also think about, like, as you start getting in your analytics, Dr. Tachi, and start knowing where your viewers are for the network, where they tend to be the highest population that's watching, you can go local that way. So it don't have to just be where you live.
That sounds great. Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. All right, Joanna, what are you going to implement to be more findable locally? And you are really a local business too. So I'm interested to hear several tactics that you're going to use.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everybody.
Good
Well,
morning.
ironically, it's like here it is festival and local vendor season. So basically what I've done, me and my husband, he sells jewelry and candles. So we always are finding ourselves at these local events. We got one coming up this Saturday. And so what I do is he sells his jewelry and I actually sell lemonade and some other things as well. So he and I always partner together on the local vendor events. And since Nashville is growing so fast, it's ironic that you said partner with some of the local vendors and some of the local markets. I have been talking to some of the local vendors and local markets here to get some of my products inside their stores. We have there's some of the what do you call them? The vendor markets, like they're stationary, but different vendors come in. So I've been talking to some of them and I'm going to get in there starting this summer. So I'm looking forward to that. So
I love that.
Yeah.
And don't forget, you can also partner with some of the local food markets, the independent ones. And, go ahead and sell, have them to have your flyers or whatever to get started on meal plans. Don't forget, you can Rachel Ray that thing, go in there and do food demonstrations for those independent markets. They don't have that kind of stuff going on. So
I love that. Yeah.
What you see happening in the big box marketplaces, you could do in the smaller ones. Just offer it to them. They would love that.
Okay.
I would do a season of it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe even go on tour with it. Maybe I'll do one, from one time to one time on Saturday and then another one from another time to another time. And then maybe do another one on Sunday. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Might do one on Friday. So I love that for you.
Well, it's so funny that you say that because after we went to this restaurant for our anniversary and it was a nice place, but the menu was terrible. I'm like, y'all trying to kill people. So I have to do something.
Yeah. And guess what else though? You can even share a recipe with some of those restaurants and they can name it after you and hey, let's get something going. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yes.
So yeah, you got a lot of local opportunity.
A lot of local opportunity. I do.
Yeah.
I really do.
Dr. Toya, look, I've been immersed in your business all night long. So please tell us, how are you going to be local? What local things are you going to implement to be more findable?
So I actually think I'm going to combine or enhance Heather's recommendation yesterday of joining the local Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah.
But because yesterday I was like, oh, let me join. But now today I'm like, wait, I could actually use them as a resource to find the people locally that align with me. I always miss events. Like after the fact, I'm like, ooh, that would have been a great event for me.
Yeah.
Right. So really helping that to use me stay on top of the different events. And then the other thing is locally, we have about 3, like stores or like independent small stores that I think have my audience. So I think I'm going to figure out something to pitch to them where I can do some type of, in-store event.
Yes.
To bring people in.
I love it. Love what y'all coming up with. Okay. Kimberly says she's going to do more sponsoring. I've been doing local markets and festivals. So awesome, Kimberly. Dr. LaFera, you already off the mic. That's what I'm talking about. Come on, Dr. LaFera. Look her picture up, right? Come on now. Come on now. Okay, I'm gonna stop playing with you. Okay, what are you gonna do to be more findable locally?
So since I help women juggling multiple roles to reset their health and boost energy, food and medicine, food is medicine and lifestyle is medicine.
It is.
one of the things that I said I was going to do is one, I have to finish my website. So when I go to my website and I speak, I do speaking, I'm going to start directing people back to my website. And then I'm going to mention that I do cooking well, not cooking, but I do juicing demonstrations and workshops for people regularly. And so they can book me to do that. And then I like what you said about like going to local events, so I could look up like the local events that they're having, maybe on like Eventbrite,
Yes.
and see who they have. And then if they don't have somebody like me, I could suggest that they get with somebody like me. So that's like kind of like the social influencer angle, and then the social influencer angle for me would be to go to gyms and suggest that they book me to either help their people, to start juicing or doing smoothies that's gonna help them to get better results, and then they're gonna attribute that really to that, going to that gym, because the gym doesn't have to know that they're not, that I am not associated with them. And then I like the Chamber of Commerce. I don't know if I already said that, but like the social media tags, like I like the carousels because I was listening to somebody last night and they were asking like, should they be more educational or should they be themselves? And so like on the carousels, that would give me an opportunity to be like, to show them like, this is what I know, this is what I do. Instead of always like, some people just show up and like show themselves getting ready and stuff like that. But I'm deeper than that. So to create my social media around some of the stuff that I am doing, not just the juicing, but like, the body processes that are helped by what I do to help show me me is more of the authority. And I like the idea of the sponsoring the event. I've done that before. But I'll do it again.
I like that. And you know what just came up for me for you when you said working with gyms? I think that they would allow you, if you become a part of their like renewal process, especially for people who have dropped down out of the gym, like they stop paying, they stop coming. Maybe you can help them by doing a campaign for them to get energy back so they can get back in the gym. I can't think of a gym that wouldn't want you to help them with their churn rate, because that's the biggest problem with most gyms. As soon as somebody, cancels their membership, you can start with they can give you the email and you can start an email campaign to help them get their energy up and get back in the gym. I think that's something that you could do very easily. Awesome. All right, Heather, what are you going to do to be more findable locally?
So I'm going to start holding local workshops for local businesses using the PR stuff we talked about yesterday. So it'll, it's going to be like, I mean, they're going to have to pay for it because I'm not doing this for free, right? But it's just going to be like a 2-hour workshop on a Saturday, like, or maybe a weekday night. I don't know. I haven't figured out the timing, but I'm going to do that. But also I didn't think about adding local keywords to the website. Like that's super smart. Right? Like I didn't think about that. And then I'm just gonna start taking more of my own advice I give everybody else. And that's like really pay attention to like what's going on, trending in the news or pop culture or whatever. And then because here's the thing that like we talked about being, sending out the press release about your news, but it's also important that your local media knows that you are a source of information for national stories that bring it all down to the local level. That newsjacking thing. It's one thing to jack the news and be like, oh, hey, this is going on in the world. This is how, but to pitch yourself as a source, as a subject matter expert, all local news wants to bring big stories down to make it really applicable to the people in the communities they serve. And that is where you can really shine and make those connections.
I love that. You can also use Google Trends, y'all, to put in your local area in there and see what's trending in your area. if you want to start looking for that news jacking and all of that good stuff. All righty. So I always ask, Lord, I also asked Chat GPT to give me the common obstacles to being findable locally. Because see, what y'all have been doing is y'all been quickly answering, then we be having like 30 minutes left. So I know I need to ask Chat GPT more stuff. So I asked it, what are some of the common obstacles to being findable with our local strategies, right? So of course it came up with lack of local SEO, because I just learned about that. So of course that's an obstacle. We ain't been doing that, right? So many businesses fail to optimize their online content for local searches, making it difficult for potential customers in their vicinity to find them, okay? So it says invest in local SEO strategies, such as including location-based keywords in your website's titles, in your meta descriptions, and in your content, okay? We already talked about Google My Business yesterday, so make sure that y'all are having a Google My Business, because that also helps you to be local. Inconsistent name, address, and phone number information across online platforms. So we can very easily, especially if we have a physical address and phone number, sometimes we don't update that stuff. So if you got some kind of physical place, make sure that you updating that stuff, okay? Neglecting customer reviews. Y'all, when we get reviews, we need to acknowledge them, especially if you have some type of platform or tech that is getting reviews for you, whether it be on Shopify and you have some kind of review, whether you are accepting reviews on your Facebook page, if you have reviews on whatever website, or are you part of another marketplace that you have a review section, make sure that you're paying attention to these reviews, especially from local people, and make sure that you highlight these reviews, okay? Underutilizing social media, failing to engage with the local community on social media, limits your visibility and opportunity to connect with others. Right now, what's going on Facebook is a lot of your local events are also on Facebook. So Dr. LaFera mentioned Eventbrite, which was great, but also some of your local people are putting Facebook events up there. So make sure that you're checking that out. Let's see what else it says. It says post about local events, promotions, and news. Ignoring local content creation. What about having a voice about what's going on in your local town, right? And it doesn't have to be that you're critiquing stuff. If you're the one that don't want to be a negative Nancy and critique stuff or go against stuff, then what you can do is highlight the good stuff, right? I have someone who was in my network. She would go and interview local businesses. Great thing to do, right? I thought about incorporating that for me here in Mexico, just to, not that I want clients out of Mexico, but just to show people in the United States how some of these Mexican business owners, that small owners, have some of the same problems, right? Some of my good friends here are restaurant owners and business owners because I go there all the time. So you can incorporate that. Getting into the flow with your local businesses and doing content about them. Poor mobile optimization. Let me tell y'all how my mobile optimization is poor on my website that I got to get up because I always do things from a desktop point of view. I'm a desktop girl. I don't really like mobile personally, so I don't think mobile first, but we have to start thinking mobile first, okay? So not utilizing Google My Business fully. A basic or incomplete Google My Business profile misses opportunities to provide potential customers with valuable information and to rank higher in the local searches. Let's see, local backlinks. So if you don't know what backlinks are, those are just links, and backlinks go three ways, okay? You can backlink on your site from other things within your site. That's an internal backlink. You can be linked to from an external source, or you can link to an external source. That's the three ways that you can backlink. So if you can get some links back to you from local sources and you can link local places, that can help you with your local backlinks, which is going to help you with your local SEO, okay? So that was cool. Did anybody learn anything new from those obstacles and how to overcome them? Does anybody want to say anything? Have any questions about going local or any of the things we talked about this week on being findable as a small business? Anybody want to come off the mic and add anything? Well, all righty. Well, that's it, guys, and I'll see you next week. The studio is with Dr. Tachi. I saw something flinch over there. Did you want to add something?
Just that it was really useful, helpful information.
Awesome. Glad to hear that, man. Come on now. Okay, y'all. Well, y'all have a great day and have a great weekend. The studio is closing in 5, 4, 3, 2,